This week's episode of the Deckchair and Yumz podcast is brought to you by Jada Pinkett Smith. Oh, fuck. You're not allowed to say her name. You need to keep it out of your fucking mouth, sir. Keep that woman's name out of your fucking mouth. Na 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 na. Jada Pinkett Smith. Na 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 na. Let's play the fucking intro. Yeah, what's up, motherfucker? Yeah, what's up, motherfuckers? You're all very welcome back to another episode of the Deckchair and Yumz podcast with me, Mickey Porter, aka Yumz, and him, Connor Keys, aka Deckchair, or something like that.
All the way in.
Let's start with a hot topic, Connor. Comedians are getting slapped in the bake.
By time too.
Ah, fucking right.
Slap the head.
Bet you Chris Rock wishes his first name was the.
What?
Wouldn't that happen then?
Yes, it's
Fucking, what are you doing, man? I can't do a Chris Rock impression.
Or maybe he wished fucking Mr. Smith's surname was Young. That would make a good fight.
That would be a good fight. I think fair play to Will Smith for taking on that front row of teeth. Because you could have lost a finger there, like if you had done that wrong, if you timed that slap wrong.
That's a brave slap.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Just channeled the Ali spirit.
Yeah, for a man who was obviously trained in boxing, obviously for Ali and all the rest, it was very WWE slap.
Yeah, there's many things to unpick. I would like to start, Connor, with talking to you. I've kept this a secret for quite a few years from many, many people. I have had extensive training in stage combat in my university days. 2-day course, first year university.
It actually shows in real life too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Quite often, altercations will start in a pub, and I'll take a glove off, slap a man on the face with it, and say, I shall meet you upon the hustings, a good man. Bring your rapier.
Yes.
And then, for some reason, he turns up with Jimmy Savile. Very strange.
Weird.
I'm like, no, rapier.
Gary Letter.
Yeah, no. And then I'm all, no, don't, stop doing that. That wasn't a command. It's a sword. Let the poor fella up.
You don't get rapier.
Aye. Well, it depends. As I get older, Connor, I feel...
The combat stage
I get less buckier. I know that much. Or Buckabill.
Buckabill, yeah.
Buckabill, Buckaphil, Buckadall?
Aye.
Buckalala. And
in Buckalala.
So, yeah, initially whenever I saw Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, I thought it was a stage slap. Because the way you do a staged slap is you oversell
Yes.
the
And
strike.
he definitely
And then you
oversold it.
also oversell the reaction.
Yes.
Now, I watched it in slow motion and I still can't tell if he actually made contact.
No, he does. You can see his cheek vibrate.
Can you see it?
You
Yeah.
can actually,
I haven't seen it in that slow motion.
No, somebody has done that. They went down to, and you can see Rock's face actually like wobble where it has been slapped. When I watched it too, I was like, "Oh, this is a fucking setup," and I would have believed the setup because the first one I'd seen was the censored version.
Yeah.
So that you didn't hear him shouting from the audience. And I was like, "Oh, that's a fucking pretty shit setup." And all that. And then when I heard him shouting, I was like, "Oh fuck, that wasn't."
Because it was on live TV, like
Because you could genuinely see the other thing about big credit to Chris Rock. Let's be honest. If you watched it where he went, "Oh, I could." Did you see that where he said that? So he got the slap, and back in your man. What's his name again? One of them boys, Mr. Smith.
Oh, aye.
He got back to the seat, did the shouting, and Rock said something like, "Dude, wow," or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you could just see him going, "Oh, I could," and because he knew he could. Whenever he said, "Keep my name out of your fucking mouth,"
Aye.
he was like, "Oh, I could," and then he moved on. But you knew the comedian was going, "Fucking don't open that Pandora's
I'll
box."
fucking I'll ruin your whole life.
So that's why I'm thinking of Chris Rock. Fair fucking play to you because he was so professional then and went on with the show, and he came up with a line then about the greatest moment in TV history or something.
Yeah.
But before that, you can see that I could, and then he just stops himself. You know that feeling. You know when you're on
fucking
stage, you
hell.
go, "Oh, stop."
I think the fact that Will Smith looks like a complete and utter fucking bitch because he laughed. He laughed and then looked at her and she's like,
No, do you know my hot take on it all?
What's your hot take on it?
My hot take on that is, I don't think he got the joke initially. I don't think he understood. I thought he thought the G.I. Jane thing was about powerful fucking strong woman until he heard the audience reacting. Because the camera cuts to Chris Rock and you hear the audience going, "Oh," and then obviously he's turned and looked at the wife, and it's then hidden what the joke was about.
Aye.
But I genuinely don't think the initial joke he got it. I don't think he realised that it was a bald joke. Because
Aye.
here's the
I also think
here's
as well,
the
I
only
think
thing.
Will Smith or Chris Rock could have ducked the punch, but Jada Pinkett Smith reflected the light off her scalp and blinded him.
Here's the one thing.
As a
that
balding
does-
man, I'm allowed to say that. Also, I have an autoimmune condition, so I'm allowed to say it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You're one of them.
We'll get on that now, saying.
The one thing I just did make the tinfoil tingle a wee bit.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I do think that it was set up.
Because are we
As
going
a-
to pick this apart on Just Rabbit None as well? or-
Well, yeah, we'll leave it to that.
Aye.
We'll leave it to that. But I do believe that I think the only way to put it is that Rock knew how to get out of it.
Yeah.
But I think it was stays as in coming from Smith's end of thing. I think he knew he was going to do, that sort of way.
Yeah. I think there's...
But there's definitely something about the way it was carried out and the way the joke. Because here's my thing, right? And this is the tinfoil tingling.
Mm-hmm.
The joke was shit.
Aye.
And the joke was very, very, very 90s. Like really old niche joke. Because the G.I. Jane thing.
Yeah,
it
that was a big... I remember that being a hot take.
1994,
Demi Moore shaved her head.
Yeah,
Like,
that was the thing about it. But I mean, the fact that's the only thing got me going, hold on, Chris Rock's better than that.
Aye.
Than a fucking G.I. Jane joke.
Is he? What? Have you ever seen Everybody Hates Chris?
Well, that's true. But that's just maybe I don't know. It was just. But initially, I think that's what happened. I think, and then because I've heard other comedians saying, "Oh, he laughed when he shouldn't have, and then looked and realised he shouldn't have, and then was annoyed." But I genuinely think the first couple of seconds he didn't realise it was a joke about alopecia.
Aye. Because it was weird. I know there's been a few different takes on it. We talked about this before we started recording. I didn't know it was public knowledge she had alopecia.
Oh yeah, no, it was yeah.
Now, in my mind, when you look at her head, that's a shaved head. It's not alopecia. Like if you look at the difference between Jada Pinkett Smith and like Gail Porter.
Yeah.
Like Gail Porter is a completely smooth. Because alopecia makes your hair fall out. It doesn't make it shorter.
No.
So
I think is it growing back?
Maybe it could be that too. Like
I don't know.
no idea.
I'm not too sure
be,
why it was like that.
Should we go on treatment or something? But I think that it's. It's not that I think it was staged. I think that one, nobody was really watching the Oscars anymore. Like the amount of times you would hear over the last few years, the figures have all dropped and no one's really paying attention to it. Then you're in a kind of a situation where you go, well, now everybody's talking about the Oscars. People are going to have been fucking watching it back. Chris Rock's ticket sales have gone through the fucking roof.
I was going to
this
say,
morning.
I don't think it's going to be any benefit to the Oscars because the next one's not till a year away. And fuck, we all know what can happen. A lot can happen in a year. So I don't think it's going to boost the ratings for next year, but it definitely boosted the Academy. And
Was he hosting it or was that just he was presenting
This
one
is what
award?
I don't understand because I watched it then last night and he just comes out to present an award. So I don't know why he started the roasting. That was the other thing that was weird in the middle of it. You've got three hosts.
Aye.
Why are you coming out then to roast the audience? I don't know what, because it was taken away from the three women. So
Yeah.
don't go into that argument.
I've seen a
'cause
few comedians as well talking about the fact that they have like 3 or 4 comedians coming on presenting awards, but there's no Oscar for comedy. So there's been a few comedians just going, just don't fucking go back anywhere near it. Let them spoiled rich bastards present their own shows.
And make it boring as fuck.
Yeah.
It's the comedians that always lighten up, and the like. I mean, Amy Schumer and Wanda Sykes and Regina Hall did a good job.
Aye.
Grand, but I just don't know why he came out.
But was Amy Schumer making some jokes that people were saying were distasteful?
Well, this is the other thing. So I would suggest that if Amy Schumer was a man, she'd have got slapped.
Aye.
Because her jokes were all about their open relationship.
Oh, fuck, really? Was she making jokes like that?
Oh, aye, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. So the jokes earlier on the night were all like aimed at Will Smith and things. So I think Chris Rock got the slap that was due to fucking
Amy Schumer? Fucking hell.
He got a double whammy. He got the two and go up because she came up with it. I can't remember what the line was, but yeah, it's about how open the relationship was between Will and
That is crazy how there's no focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because their relationship has been fucked for years. I didn't even know that. I knew there were some jokes. I didn't know it was about like her riding her mates or wee lads' mates.
I don't think they mentioned the name. They just mentioned the open relationship because that's another public thing they've said they have an open relationship.
Fucking hell, man.
Will likes a cock.
Do you think it's that Will likes something
It's
the other
always
day?
been talked about that for 20 odd years. It's been
He likes men and back.
man.
We going to Miami because Will he likes salami. Na 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 na. Give me Willie with it. Na na na.
Get me Willie with it. And it has been a rumour for a long time about the casting couches. We'll talk about it and just wrapping on because it's getting very fucking
hell. Is it like
there was a lot of talk
about Will Smith now?
and Jada as well.
And no, I knew there was some weird. Yeah, we'll get into Jada Pinkett Smith just wrapping on because I know there's some weird shit going on with her.
She came to LA with Tupac.
Uh-huh.
That's how she was introduced to LA. She was childhood friends with Tupac.
Right.
The two of them, and there were always rumors that they might have been.
But
No, there might have been a beard relationship type thing.
Oh right, because Tupac is.
That's allegedly, yeah.
Shit.
Don't know. That was I talking.
Swear. Say ghetto gospel. Swear.
Square to God.
Fucking hell.
Said square. No, that was years ago. I mean, I'm talking fucking. That's been going about the internet for fucking 20 years.
Aye.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's very strange. And I did also get really tinfoily tingly with the whole Scientology thing.
It's a very strange.
Miscavige would love that kind of publicity.
Miscavige?
David Miscavige,
Who's that?
the head of Scientology.
I did not know that.
Have you seen any of the documentaries on that?
Nah, but I kind of try and stay away from that shit.
Oh no, you should watch it because they're exposing it. Like, oh, you should watch that.
Yeah, I've seen
Leah Remini.
Yeah. Just being like, oh yeah, it's absolutely fucking mental.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird though because a lot of people are talking about this is now setting a precedent for punching comedians.
Yeah,
and I fucking dare you. I don't.
I was talking about that too. I don't
myself.
think it's a precedent. I just think what's happened is it's just odd. It's like predictive programming. It just sort of enters into the mindset of people that's what happens now when you get offended and you think. Because here's the other thing: if it hadn't have been Chris Rock, if it had have been The Rock,
Aye.
the slap wouldn't have happened. That's the other
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, it was a bullying moment.
It was
like
a bullying
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I mean, if you're on stage and you look like you could be taken.
Yeah.
You are open for fucking, especially if you've hit a topic that somebody in the audience, you know, you could name out the list of topics you could talk about. You know,
yeah.
people have their own lives and they suffer through death and grief and mourning and all that sort of stuff. And if you trigger the wrong person, that's going to be their new response now.
Yeah.
Beforehand, it was heckling,
Aye.
which I think Smith should have done.
Man, I think
if he had sat at the back and went and shouted those two lines the way he did
Aye.
without doing the slap, it'd have been fucking brilliant.
Aye.
Keep my wife
100%.
your fucking and just left it at that. But he ruined the whole
Yeah,
thing.
it's like it's the same. Not to make it about me, but it's the same thing as when I offended the Belfast Giants fans a few weeks ago. As soon as somebody starts threatening violence, you go, "You're now worse than me."
Yeah,
you've now gone a level lower, and Chris Rock wins.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? I think,
no
like,
doubt.
Especially, it was a great point that somebody
He
made.
probably, let's be honest, if Will Smith had done that without the slap, done exactly what he did except getting out of his seat, Chris Rock would be cancelled today.
Yeah, 100%.
He'd been gone.
And I think
because
Will Smith,
the reaction of Will Smith protecting his,
Yeah.
but the violence just negates all arguments.
and I think the fact that he then, like, he knew he was going to win Best Actor. He knew he was going to be able to make a speech, so he could have even cooler waited and fucking slagged Chris Rock off during his speech.
Could have done so many
Doing
things.
so many things.
Yeah.
And the fact that
But it's the arrogance, because
it wasn't. He didn't rush the stage and slap him. He walked up coolly and calmly, slapped him, and walked back coolly and calmly. You're going, so
and
that's,
you can see
it wasn't an instant reaction.
You can see Chris Rock's face when he sees him coming because you don't see the camera. And this is the other thing too. Like, this is the Oscars, so there's fucking 60 cameras of all angles around,
Yeah.
but we can only ever see what was broadcast. But Chris Rock's face when he was walking up, he's genuinely like, okay, and he's almost like putting his chin out,
Aye.
as if saying, okay, here we go, there's going to be a riff here. He's not expecting that. He's definitely
Aye.
not. And if you've watched Chris Rock in films, he can't act. He can act as Chris Rock, but he can't
Yeah,
act
yeah,
as
it's
anything
very
else.
true, it's a good point.
And when he's there, you can see him. It's computing his head. Now, I wonder, did he have an earpiece? Because there's a pause there where he's like completely silent, and you can.
And the earpiece is going, damn!
Oh shit! World Star!
Wild Wild West. Welcome to Earth. Bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna...
You've ran out of songs now.
Oh, sorry.
We're done now. We should blink
Yeah,
it
it's just Martin Lawrence in the headset. Being like, shit.
So there was
Woosah.
there definitely was a small pause where he's concentrating. You can genuinely think he's listening to the earpiece.
I think I kept
But I
thinking,
love that whole. He just under his breath. And he just stops.
Aye.
He smiles. And
I keep thinking it's a fake slap. The only bit that made me go, Oh, he wasn't. Is when after he slaps him, Chris Rock's shoulder goes up as if he's going to flinch from the second one.
Right. Okay.
That's
right.
the only bit where I went, oh yeah, fuck, that was real.
Yeah. No, he definitely.
Because the way he kind of like dramatically fucking spun.
I think
that's how you would sell a slap.
Aye.
As someone who's a black belt in stage combat.
Well, that's the thing. See, I'm not. I'm.
I would nearly get James the video after this and show you how you can make it look very, very convincing.
Can I do it now?
No, you need a bit of room.
All right.
Because you need the room to like telegraph the swing and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
But
there's definitely a hip swing of Will Smith when he gives that. That's why I keep saying about WWE. Like, is that sort of over exaggerating spin on the slap? But no, it definitely made connection. And like I say, it's the shouting from the crowd is when you realise it's real.
Aye.
Up until that definitely would have been like, oh, fucking Will Smith and Chris Rock would have cracked it.
I still feel like you only did it because she looked at him weird. Because he's doing that trembly lip thing of like, do you know when you're about to cry because you're reaching? Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
Now, here's the other thing about it all. The man's an actor. He's actually a good actor because he was winning the Best Actor award at the Oscars. So he knows how to.
But there's strange things of. Because I heard a story that there was a filler. Do you know they have people who come and sit in empty seats?
Yeah.
So there was an American girl who, she was sat down beside someone who'd won the Oscar for Best Short, or like one of these, do you know, like fucking Best Animatronic Performance in a supporting role or whatever. So she like sits down beside this girl. The girl's pissed. She's like, here, do you want to hold an Oscar? And the filler's going, fuck yeah. She hands her the Oscar, and then the drunk girl whose Oscar it was is like, here, give me your phone, I'll take a photo of you holding an Oscar. And they kicked her out for taking a photo. So you're going, the difference in...
Absolutely. Oh, aye.
Like, Will Smith can literally get up and commit assault on live TV. Why wasn't he thrown out?
Well,
do you know what I mean?
I think it's probably for the same reason that Chris Rock didn't rip into
I think it's to keep people watching it.
But I can't keep people watching what? I can understand if this is a weekly show or a monthly show. By next year, it's fucking
but I'm saying,
long
imagine you're watching the Oscars live and you're fucking, one of your mates isn't, and then you go, Will Smith just fucking punched Chris Rock live in the Oscars. Everyone's going to tune in to see what's going to happen later on.
I don't agree. I
didn't check. I don't know if the viewing figures spiked at all during halfway through it. But
no, I don't think it's for viewing figures. I think it's definitely been staged, but I think it's been staged from the fucking Will Smith side of things to distract away from other news topics. But yeah, because it has.
Why? What else is going on in the world?
Well, there was a wee mini conflict. But it's grand.
It should be alright. It's quick enough. Yeah, it is a strange thing because I think, like, I've been asked to do to write something in for a local newspaper about comedians getting punched on stage, and it's you automatically lose the argument. Regardless of,
it's gone. Like,
I mean, you can.
Gone.
I always think there's a rule. I like try to have a rule where you should never make fun of stuff that people can't change. Right. So I never make fun of somebody's skin color or disabilities or.
Well, actually, I was just going to quote Chris Rock. Chris Rock said in Talking Funny, what is it? Don't pick on what they are, pick on what they do.
Yeah.
And he picked on what she is.
Yeah, because that's the kind of. I'm wondering, did he know? Maybe he didn't know. I just keep thinking that's maybe the fucking, or was he just thinking, fuck it, sure they've made worse jokes.
There may be the possibility he didn't know she had alopecia.
Yeah,
you know, maybe it may be the fact that because Jada Pinkett Smith has always had short hair.
Yeah, and there's that thing of like, black people have a different type of hair.
Yeah, afro hair. Yeah.
So like. Beyonce, for example, doesn't have long blonde hair. She has short.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. A black woman would be very prominent with wigs.
Yeah.
That's a big thing in the black community. It would be because a lot of them have the head shaved.
Yeah.
But I think this is just more because it is a condition that she's come out about and saying that she struggled mental health wise and all that sort of stuff. But no, I don't know. Maybe it was that look across, but I genuinely think the initial laugh was he didn't get the joke.
Aye. I still think he shouldn't have hit him.
No, maybe
he had it because even you could have hit him afterwards.
He could see them two lanes from that seat. They would have been two fucking knockout punches.
Aye,
two absolute belters
Chris Rock
that he would never come back from, and Chris Rock wouldn't be on stage again.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think he would be. I think because the way I noticed the actress who was behind Will Smith, her face, because she was sort of joking along too.
Yeah.
Until he said it, and she was like, "Oh fuck." And
I think most people thought it because I seen what do you call him, John Leguizamo.
Leguizamo.
Do you know the guy he played Luigi in the Super Mario? That's the only thing I can think he was in. He was in Romeo and Juliet. Yeah. He's that guy that's in loads of stuff, and you go, fuckers, your man.
Aye. He was the go-to Hispanic fucking character actor for years.
Yeah. And he was at an Oscars after party, and part of me was going, what the fuck are you doing there? Like, why are you anywhere near it? But he was in the same thing. Everybody thought that was a setup.
Yeah.
Everybody. That's why, because you hear people laughing.
Yeah.
When the slap first happens, everybody's like,
not
fucking...
until he shouts that. And the other thing too is, and people don't think of this at the time, it was massive to curse at the Oscars.
Aye.
Massive that he did that twice. Yeah. That's big enough. There's no way any setup would have been something, trivial and they definitely wouldn't have swear words in it. When he did that you knew that was real, and the people around him knew it was real then when he cursed as well. Not to say that the curse was the only thing that mattered, but it definitely sent home that this is, because then when he did it the first time, I think, because I've watched it numerous times to try and see has there been some sort of setup.
It makes me very uncomfortable every time I watch it.
No, I've watched it loads of time, and Chris Rock goes, "Wow, dude." He have to say, "Fuck me, you just cursed on live TV," and he does it again.
Aye.
And that's and that's
he doesn't even curse in his rap.
And that's not. What's Eminem said? Will Smith don't have to curse in his records. Fuck him. Aye. Fuck you too.
Did you ever see the Family Guy? Will Smith's clean rap.
No.
Where he's like, wipe your shoes before you come in the house. Somebody just clean that floor. Woohoo! Yeah.
Yeah. So. I don't know. Very, very strange. And I think more annoyingly then was the tears at the speech.
Aye.
Because to be honest with you, that is what you would class as somebody you would go, right, we need to check on his kids.
Yeah.
That wasn't real life. That somebody punched somebody that one and then got all emotional and talking about love and all the rest. You're like, what's the old saying? The fucking, you're a street angel and a house devil.
Oh, I've never heard that before. I've heard lady in the streets, but a freak in the bed. I said, yeah.
Street angel, home devil means that out in public you're such a lovely guy.
Behind closed doors, you're an old bastard.
Because he has done this before. He smacked a reporter.
I seen him smack the guy tried to kiss him, though.
Yeah. Trying to prove that he was.
I mean, in fairness, if someone rather tried to fucking kiss you and you were Will Smith, you'd slap him too, like.
I don't even think. I think it was the flippant slap. It was a backhand. It was like fucking him, that sort of thing. But the fact that it's there in him to do it.
Aye. I mean, it'd be all you.
Don't know. Would you want slaps?
I think.
With all the cameras around you? No, I'm not talking about.
No, but
I'm talking about like on the red carpet.
But I think there's.
I think that's a natural reaction. That's what it was.
But I think there's a genuine sort of situation with, if you're as famous as Will Smith and you can't go anywhere, and people feel like they have the right to do and say whatever they want to you, eventually you're going to fucking hit somebody, like.
Yeah. Well,
do you know what I mean?
Pity he doesn't have a couple of 100 million to fall back on.
I know, God love him. I'm sure he'll be fine. Like,
that is the other sad thing about this is two multi-millionaires fucking having a go at each other, and the whole world is talking about it. Well,
I don't know if did you see the sort of, there's loads of different celebrities' reactions to it, but Mel Gibson's like, like, I'm off the hook.
Would Gibbo, was he even there?
I seen a photo of Mel Gibson sitting in the audience, but it could be from anything. It might have been a spoof.
Did you not take a look around and see how limited it was in Hollywood stars there, and compared to previous years?
I didn't really notice.
De Niro and Pacino, you expect. Denzel, obviously, but there's no like Jack Nicholson and the sort of old crew ones who normally would take up the front row. The front row was given to Will Smith and Jada, that sort of way. Like. But it was a weird layout, the whole setup, because like Jane Campion was the winner of Best Director, and she was down near the fucking back.
Fuck.
When she came to collect her award, she had to walk such a long. And I was like, why are you down the fucking back? You're a Best Director nominee, but I don't know. The studio or the what do you call it? The theater looked a lot smaller than normal too. So
I did notice that actually, yeah.
And then tables and all at the front and all that crack. And then obviously the stage being in the shape of an eye and all that crack.
Oh yeah, with a lot of triangular sort of prismy, pyramid type things. Welcome to Earth.
Join us on Just Rabbiting On.
Yeah, we're back, baby. It's a mad thing to think like we sort of touched on it briefly, but people saying about it being a precedent for slapping comedians, and like my girlfriend was saying she had watched Loose Women, that cutting edge program, and all the women were like, he was defending his wife. Fair play to him. And you go, the things that have been said on Loose Women that are 10 times worse than any comedian's ever said.
Yeah, absolutely. Could you imagine if it had been a white actor?
Being slapped by a black guy?
No, going up and slapping a black
Oh,
guy.
yeah, that wouldn't have happened. Like, yeah, it absolutely wouldn't have happened.
Or what would the reaction have been? Because and the reason I'm only just because America is so focused on race issues in black and white. I wonder just how the dynamics would have worked if any of them had changed. If it had been a white presenter and a black,
Aye.
It's just mad, and it's just shows
Chinese guy would have been great.
Oh, that'd be fucking deadly.
One Benedict Wong just jumping up. That's very racist. Sorry about that.
It was, but no one said nothing. But get cancelled.
Imagine when Will Smith slapped a Chinese actor. And he's like, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth," and the Chinese guy's all, "I will." Sorry, Will Smith. You, I must defend my honor. That's a Bruce Lee joke for anybody that isn't paying for Patreon to watch these videos. I'm miming along badly like a kung fu movie.
Well, actually, if you're listening to this on Spotify or whatever,
You're missing out.
yeah. Well, not only that, Chris Rock's probably dead by this stage. It's a week later, so
Yeah.
Chris Rock did not kill himself.
They'll find him somewhere wrapped in paper as a sign.
Yeah, so thank you to all our new patrons. Thank you for joining over and coming on board. Thank you very much.
And for those of you who
Very
are new
much,
patrons, go fuck yourselves.
and for
I'm
our
joking.
long-term patrons, we fucking love.
I want to keep talking more about punching comedians though, because
Yeah, because that's that's common to us, like.
it's a weird kind of. It will be interesting to see how if the frequency of comedians getting punched goes up now. Because it does happen anyway. It's happened before.
It doesn't have to be specifically a punch. I'm just saying that barrier between audience and performer is now broken. So it might not just be comedy, it could be music or anything. But you're going to see, I believe you're going to see, as well as slaps and punches, you're going to see things thrown at them. You're going to see things,
Well, that's not a new thing though.
It's
Do you know
not a
I
new
mean?
thing,
Like,
but
I've
what
heard
I'm
Billy
saying
Connolly
is-
tell stories about getting punched in Australia. Australians love fucking punching comedians. They're fucking mad for it.
But that's an event that happens that only Billy knew about and the person involved, and then Billy tells the story.
Aye.
This is different. This has entered, literally predictive programming has entered into the psyche of every single person, because everybody I know is now talking about it.
Aye.
So there's it'll go into the back subconscious, they'll lock it away in a wee vault, and about 3 months' time they'll go, fucking that cunt annoyed me.
Aye. It's a shame too that it's become this. Again, it's another one of those "can comedians go too far" stories. It should be about an assault.
Well, I love Chris. It should be about
do you know what I mean?
assault.
It should be about an assault. On
But I
someone's
also
life
love
and me.
Chris Rock going, dude, it was a G.I. Jane joke. Like, it wasn't even that
he was
fucking-
like, it's not even a good
It's not
joke.
even that good.
I know.
Like, I was like, what the fuck?
I know. Imagine how he
but
would
it-
have been
it
like, Jane, I
has
can't
to-
wait to see Alien 3.5. Because Sigourney Weaver shaved her head one time too.
It has to be. There has to be questions about Will Smith's mental state. Like, let's be honest. If you're able to do that, and then go back to the seat, and because what
finish
happens
the
is,
awards, you storm out at least. Have the decency to leave.
Leave, but not even that. If you watch the actual award ceremony, because all you'll see online are the clips. But if you watch the actual ceremony, he's there throughout the rest of. Like the best screenplay, Kenneth Branagh gives a speech and all that. He's there, and him and Jada's fucking laughing their balls off
Aye.
the whole way through the rest of the show.
See, that's what
until
makes
he
it-
gets to the end, and then he cries his fucking.
That's what
eyes out.
makes
You're
it sadistic as
"You're
fuck when you shit like
fucking-
that."
You're a
Yeah.
narcissistic cunt.
He got in one little fight because his wife's no hair.
I seen that somebody said about leaving him with Fresh Prince.
I see that. Yeah, I see that one. Yeah.
That's very good. So many jokes about it. It's fucking.
I know.
It's unreal.
Wouldn't it have been hilarious if they just caught the Chris Rocket and threw it out of the front of the mansion? Ah!
That's what they're saying now, that poor old Will has to move his auntie and uncle in LA.
Aye. Fucking Carlton. Give it. It'll be. I'm kind of looking forward to getting back on stage to see if I get dug in the head in the next couple of weeks. Because, see, to be honest, like, I had a show there on
I
Saturday.
don't think. I think we're going to be safe enough here, but I think Scotland.
I don't know. Like, I think you've got enough fucking psychos turning up the gigs here now as well.
Aye, but there's enough psychos as comedians.
I suppose the difference is that an Irish comedian will fucking hit you back. Like, in fact, I'll put it.
You won't get the punch fucking thrown.
I'll go so far as to say, now that Chris Rock's been slapped in the Oscars, comedians will be hitting hecklers.
That might be the more, yeah.
As soon
Go
as
down
somebody,
the table and just fucking
yeah,
punch
as soon as
them.
somebody walks towards the stage, all right, it's on. Cunt.
Yeah.
Smack you with a mic stand.
Pour out your water out of your glass. Come on, you
Have
can't.
you ever seen the video? There was a documentary called Heckler. It was your man Jamie Kennedy made it.
Right.
It's about 20 years old now at this point, and it's not great. But there was a video that was quite famous at the time. This guy, he's like a country and western kind of parody singer, and he's like playing some fucking song, and a guy approaches the stage to tell him off, and he just takes the guitar off his back and breaks it over the guy's head like straight away. And the crowd's like, ooh, and he's going, he was going to hit me. Because that's the thing too, I suppose, if you only the person on stage would know this is about to be a fucking fight, because nobody else could see the guy's face.
And Chris Rock was exactly the same. It's not until Will Smith is about 2 steps from him that you see his face change.
Yeah.
You know, he's actually sitting there and he's like, you know, like over head, and then you say, oh fuck, this is not what I thought it was.
Fucking hell. It's because I had a rough one there Wednesday or Saturday night in the Armagh City Hotel, and I don't want to make this one of these situations where, you know, I'm coming on and bitching about people at gigs, and I know people listen to podcasts and when comedians bitch about audience members, they're like, well, that's part of your job, you should be able to do. There was a crowd of guys turned up that from the start of it just were not paying attention. Like, at one point I looked down, they were showing each other videos on their phones.
Why? What the fuck do you... Why not just sit up in the foyer?
I'm now having, like, that's the end of the tour, obviously, but from now on, I'll be closing the bars.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Because they had table service plus QR codes on the table. Oh. So as the show went on, and it was weird, I went out at the start to bring Jordan Robinson on, and I was like, this is going to be fucking great.
Right.
And in the space of 20 minutes, half an hour, completely different room.
All the drink kicked in.
And it was because of maybe 3 tables.
That's all it takes to ruin a whole show for people. It's unreal.
But you get the point there where you're getting like kind of aggressive heckles. At one point, I was trying to build tension with a new joke, and a guy. So this one table of guys slabbering away chatting. I had to kind of stop the show, and one of them was like, "There's more crack down here," and I went fucking like. And it was a kind of situation where all I wanted to say was, how do you know you haven't fucking paid attention to a single fucking thing I've said? But that makes you look like an arrogant cunt. So instead I went, no, there's no girls beside you, you fucking gaylord. And then I immediately went, fuck, I feel terrible about that. And I'm going, now I'm in a situation where it's back to that, now that I've got angry, I've lost.
Oh, absolutely.
You now have they have control. The Obi-Wan higher ground.
Yeah.
So I had to try and sort of double down. I made fun of the fact that not one of them had a neck. It was just 4 fucking, like, one of them had a chin so big you could have fucked a crease in it. Like, I actually said that. I felt terrible with that too. But
you're fat shaming by fat.
I know, man.
Brutal.
But here, do you know what I mean? Fat shaming, you can change it. Like, hit the gym, Tubbs.
All right, I'll try.
Like,
I'll try.
No, man, don't. I can't even go myself. But it's that kind of thing of those 4 lads weren't paying attention. Could have then went, why is he fucking picking on us?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm having to fight 4 fellas on stage.
But again, with your combat experience.
With stage combat, it'll be alright. Like,
it was not off stage, you're fucked.
Off stage I'm fucked. Oh, absolutely.
Fucking,
yeah.
Off stage, you will not.
Off stage I'm not even funny. I can only be witty if there's a black fuzzy thing in front of me. You want to see me eating pussy? This thing on? Any students in? What is the deal with airplane food?
Oh, I'm not going to go there. Yeah, but I just don't know. I don't understand. Is it Saturdays because it was a good day and people were out drinking? Maybe,
I called it in the afternoon when I saw the weather. I was like, this gig's going to be a fucking nightmare tonight because everybody's going to be out pissed. And there were certain situations where...
Yeah, but guaranteed those people, like some of those people have not been to comedy clubs before or been to gigs. Or have they been?
Well, even at the start of the show, I was like, who's seen me before? It wasn't as many as I thought.
Right.
But you kind of get to a stage where it's not everybody. Like most people, 90% of people come talk to you after gigs or before gigs are always sound. But I went to get a drink at the bar right before the show started, and there were a couple of people that were like, "Fucking oh my!" And I'm like, "You're steaming," because I'm standing beside you, and you're shouting over a crowd in a different room. Like we're on a completely different Wi-Fi code here. Like,
oh my fucking god! How the guy? I don't know. Is it just because people... do you think people have got a lower tolerance for alcohol since lockdown or so? I don't know.
I think the opposite. I think they're horsing in them because of a higher tolerance. I think as well that there's a lot of situations where... I think table service, if you're going to order drinks off a phone, you'll find somebody who goes, fuck, you can order a drink off... And then they're now more interested in ordering the pint, setting up an account, doing all the wee different things they have to do to order that drink. And they're not even... There was a guy in the front row who... I watched the videos back, wasn't looking at the stage for most of the show. He was fucking 3 feet from me. And
it's very off-putting too. Like it's
a kind of thing where I feel bad. Excuse me.
You feel bad for the ones who behave themselves and they come out to enjoy a show.
It's even weird to say behave themselves. But it is that you feel bad, and then it's like you get to a point where because there's no security there, there's no one to go over and tell people to shut up. So you end up rushing the jokes because I'm at a stage where I go, if I have any level of tension or trying to build something up, these lads are losing interest. And I've stopped it once. If you stop that gig twice, you're doing a gig with 4 people. And the only other option is to go, I'm going to go off until you leave.
Yeah.
And then you're never getting that back.
No.
Like,
then the rest of the audience will sort of maybe turn against you then for being a fucking diva. But at the same time too, no matter what, our job is to make an audience have a good night. First and foremost, that's the first thing, because they're paying anyone to do it. So it is to their benefit to get rid of those people. Now, there probably should be security.
Yeah.
You know, to go up and tap. We would have had the rule in dailies in the comedy club going, you get 1 tap.
Aye.
First tap on the shoulder is just keep it down. Or shut the fuck up. But the second tap is to leave.
Yeah.
Because we have a lovely bar downstairs and you can talk downstairs and chat to your mates down there.
That's the thing.
What the fuck? You're coming to see a show?
Yeah, you wouldn't do it in the cinema.
No, that's it. That's the problem. I think people don't realise that they think they're coming to a gig, as in a music gig, and that's not the same thing. You're coming to watch a show, whether it's a film or a play or whatever. Treat it exactly the same way, except in ours you need the laughter, but that will come naturally.
Yeah.
If you fucking pay attention.
Yeah, trust me, I know what I'm doing. Like, there was a guy who heckled me at one point, getting towards the end of the show, and he'd come in with 2 pints, and as I was starting a bit, and do you know what? See when people heckle like that? I go, what do you think that's doing? Do you think I can't see you? Do you think? What the fuck do you think that? And thank fuck I left the lights on too, because they were asking me to want to put the lights down, and I'd have been like, no, I'd have been standing now trying to deal with hecklers in the fucking dark.
In the dark. It does amplify.
I have heard.
You have to do 2.
Yeah, I've heard that the one
mono doesn't work.
It's like when
it's in stereo.
Yeah, it's like when one of your
difference there right away.
It's like when one of your headphones doesn't work and you can't hear the bass.
No point.
Yeah. But yeah, again, you're standing on a stage going, I watched you get up, walk out, and get drink, and I know exactly why you've heckled, because you don't understand what's going on. But it's your fault. You don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, and you've lost the where you are in the show. But
so
again,
I would like to just apologise to anybody who was at our. That wasn't the best show I've done. For me, you're walking off stage going, that fucking sucked.
That's the other sad reality, is you've got 10 people in total who are dicks, and it might jeopardise the fact if 200 odd or 250 plus come back this year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. For the sake of 10,
that's the thing.
It's mental. So, yeah, I would agree. Don't judge a night based on fucking drunken fools of any comedian, because every comedian will suffer in that, no matter who they're.
But I think it can be that weird thing too, where you can go see fucking anybody, Tommy Tiernan, whoever, and they go, there was a crowd of drunk ones that I wouldn't go back see him again.
No, yeah.
Because people then...
Kevin Bridges walked off for a drunk person in fucking Derry. It's not... I just don't know when it is that people realise comedy is not the place to go and get drunk. I don't know how long it takes for people to realise that, and I know people book their Saturday nights out and all the rest, but it's not like you were coming on stage at 11 o'clock.
The show was finished for 10:15. Like,
yeah, it's early enough stage for you not to be a fucking dick. You know, you can just have your first drink at the venue, and you'll have a whale of a time.
I've lost sleep over it. The guy in that same table, after I'd sort of put them down, I might have already said this already in this podcast. I've thought about it that many fucking times, I don't know if I'm repeating myself.
Right, what's that?
But I was building up a bit of tension. He tried to start a slow clap with his mates.
I don't understand what you mean by that.
So he
was trying to be sarcastic.
I was starting a bit off again, like starting a new bit, right? So you go quiet, whatever, and and as I'm doing the quiet stuff, he turned around to his mate and went, as if it was going to start something, and even his mate was like, dude, it's the kind of thing where I'm going, that's a badly timed tackle, and as a professional comedian, it upsets me.
But was he
at least be good at it?
Was he doing that in order to get them to join in for a clap?
He was paying so little attention that he felt the room go quiet. Either assumed I was down on my hole, or couldn't think of a word to try and interrupt me. So he just started trying to fucking start a slow clap. Nobody joined in. He just I watched the cunt go.
Nobody's joining in.
And I was filled with so much rage I couldn't even. I didn't want to stop it. And go, I just saw what you tried to do there, you fucking retard. Because again, when I get angry, I don't have the words.
No, you don't, because you can just use retard.
Exactly. I absolutely fucking start just saying the most horrible things I can think of. Because I can't, there's an evil man in me. And I can't, because I just fucking...
There's a bit of Will Smith about you.
We hear this here, right?
I'm Chris Rock, he's Will Smith.
We hear how angry I realised I am, right? I was leaving my house the other day, right? And there's loads of wee kids playing out in the street, right? Pedophile's dream.
Yes.
Right? But they go about and do those hoverboard things, right? But the way they're playing them is they kneel on them.
Yeah, you can kneel
on them, right? Yeah. So they're all kneeling and scooting about the fucking street in the dark.
Less falls.
Right, yeah. So I'm pulling out of the house, or out of the estate. Two wee girls fucking riding these wee hoverboards. Obviously, the Duke is a modern car, very silent. Creep up on you. Do you know what I mean? Shh. Right. So I'm telling. Do you know you're giving it that one, right? So these two wee girls are like going up the street. There's cars, so I can't get around them or anything like that. Obviously, they're on fucking hoverboards, so I'm not going to try and ram them off the road, right? So I am in the car waiting for two 10-year-old girls to pull over, right? They pulled over to the side of the street. And as I'm going past them, I'm trying to make sure I'm not going to run over two children, right? So I'm like looking out, trying to fucking calmly go past. And one of them went like this, hurry up. Right? And I was like, you wee cunt. Like, and realised I was so fucking, I was so angry. I was like, nothing I can say to you. It's everything going through my head is less childish than anything you can think of. And you're 10. Dude, I've got 25 years on you, and all I'm going to do is go to this car and go, at least I know who my fucking dad is, or something fucking hurtful. I'll go, what the fuck am I going to do? I can't go to somebody's front door and go, listen, see, you're a fucking bastard, and I'm fuming. And I ended up laughing at how much of a psycho I was turning into.
Oh, you see,
in my head, I'm going, you're the first girl in your class to get fingered, I can tell.
You're two. You see,
you're going to be pregnant at 16. Do you know what I mean? I'm like ruining this whole the child's life in my fucking head because she went, hurry up.
See, you went for the comedian route of...
It's the only route I have.
That's what I'm saying, the only route you have, which is you want to ruin the child's life. I would go the parent route, which would be, I want to ruin the child's night.
Make them feel guilty.
No, I just wouldn't have moved.
I know, but it places to be, like.
No. Don't tell me to hurry up.
Aye.
I'll just sit there. I'll be 10 minutes late to where I want to go, and I will make them fucking sit and look at me and stare.
Aye.
I would make them move.
Because all I thought about was the second I leave one of them hoverboards on a 10, I'm just going to jump on it. Put my fucking boot through it. Go, there you go, now you've got roller boots, you fucking dickhead.
As soon as I would have heard to hurry up, the cheek of it, I would have been, nah, turn the car off.
I couldn't fucking believe it. Like,
I would have said nothing to them. I just would have sat there, not moved. And they would have ruined their whole playtime. Fuck you.
But again, I'm just going, what child where do you get the balls?
Oh, yeah. 9 or 10 years, right? To tell an adult to hurry up.
It's one of the few times where I go, we should be smacking kids again.
It's a sign of the times.
You absolutely should be bossing children.
You should really batter them.
Swear to God. And you should be allowed to hit other people's kids. Yeah. No, I should be allowed to hit that wee girl.
yeah, I think so. Fair enough.
It's insane how I had nothing. I'm like, what do you do here? What the fuck do you do?
That's what I'm saying. That's what you have to do. You know, kids to deal with the parenting and things. You have to figure out other ways of doing it. So you have
I couldn't believe it.
You have to become as childish as them. So no, not move.
But that's the thing. No, but it was going to be so much more childish. Like, do you know what I mean? It was just wedgie. Like what? Like what are you fucking?
I the wee girl goes in. That boy there was grabbing my knickers.
Aye, but you don't understand.
And you know, I was trying to give her a wedgie.
Why are you on a hoverboard, Mick? Found it. She hurt my feelings first. Teacher, I have a sore tummy. Like trying to get out of it. Oh, I'm feeling sick.
I don't want to do detention.
I'm getting angry thinking about it now. That's the most annoyed I've been in a long, long time.
Right, you need to get kids.
Fuck that.
To be annoyed constantly.
I suppose at least if I had my own kids, I could go home and like tell them off on that 10-year-old's behalf. Go to your fucking room. No. Why? Because you didn't do anything.
No, because if you had 10-year-old children, they would be friends with them once. You would tell your kid, see that fuck it, she tell her again.
Aye.
If she doesn't fucking move, I'll drive over. And they'll do it, and then you go, that child of mine fucking making stuff up again. Jesus,
you know what they're like?
Wild. Imagination.
Have you ever had a situation with one of your kids' friends where you're like, I hate that wee cunt?
Oh.
Can you go into detail or not to name names?
List of them. There was a lad who was in our park who was 2 years older than her, and she would have been about 6, maybe 7 at the time, just starting to be allowed out outside the front of the house, like your neighbours, and he would bully her and call her names and stuff. I swear to fuck, I have never. No, I'm not going to tell you what I did.
Go. What did you do? Is he dead?
No. So
did you take him to Portugal?
No. Oh, I think about it. So I went to the parents' house to chat because I mean my wee girl couldn't go outside; she was getting fucking tortured, and it was a Polish couple. So wee cub was originally in Poland and came here when he was 3 or something. So he's now whatever. So I didn't realise at the time. So when I tried to speak to them, and they had no idea what I was talking about. I couldn't get the words to try and explain to them, or else they knew and were trying to pretend they didn't know what I was talking about.
Aye, wee Konsky, and you point at him.
Aye, and so the wee cop was smart enough to know what was going on and all the rest, and I walked past him and I was like, just leave her alone. No, why should I? And I said, because I work in the community house and I can get your man fucking deported. And I walked on, right, and his face fucking went white. By the way, I can't. He didn't fucking know that.
Aye. There's nothing scarier than I know your dad.
Aye. And
fuck, I was just scared the shit out of me.
No.
And I knew my dad no mates, but it would still be like.
But he had this confidence of knowing what had just happened.
Aye, he knew he'd done something. Like
he knew that it didn't matter a fuck because mum and daddy didn't care.
Aye,
do you know what I mean? Or mum and dad didn't understand, so he knew he was going to get away with. So that's why he was so arrogant. Any other Wayne would shit themselves if another adult went to their parents' house, but he didn't care. He fucking cared after that, and he never spoke one word to her.
Unreal.
Until we moved out again.
There was one time my dad always tells a story about I was about 5, and I was playing in the back garden with two wee lads from up the street. There were 2 brothers, and my dad said he was always watching. They were always like fucking being real like bullying. Because I was a fucking tiny wee child. Like I filled out now when I got about 10, 12 years old. But and I was a nice wee boy, so he says like they were just fucking bullying me and pushing me about and stuff like that. And I came in like crying, and my dad said he went, see if I ever do that to you again. He's like, I don't bite them. He's like, I'm telling you now, bite them. And he goes, I mustn't have heard the if they ever do that again bit. And he says I just like filled with fucking like Hulk rage. And he said he looked out the window and I just ran out and jumped on one of them and bit him in the face. And my dad says he was standing in the kitchen like, fucking fair play. I'm like, and he goes, same thing, never come near you again. never come near you.
Never can, that wee young cop never can near.
The rest of the kids in the street, well, he'll fucking bite you in the face.
I told the worst thing is, they've become friends now, as they always fucking do. That's the other thing, be careful of that. I know him now, he's 19, and the size of the cunt, and I'd be going, alright lad, how's it going?
Aye, still living on the road,
oh, he's still, man, that's still here, right?
Aye, bet you he walks about like fucking, Connor Keys tried to get me deported one time when I was probably traumatised. Like that's a weird thing too.
Because at the time, I should point out, it was one of the biggest things that was happening. It was just the talk of Brexit was just happening. That was what, 2013, 14, and there was a big rumour going round that everybody could be forced home and all from Poland and all that sort of crack. So I just used it to my advantage.
It's a strange
things you do for your kids.
I'm just thinking to I remember one time when I was a kid, we went round to my. Obviously, we've covered my weird relationship with food sometimes and how easily torn I am. Right? And I was at my best friend's house, and his mum and dad were at work, so his granddad was looking after us, right? And his granddad made sausage, beans, and chips, right? And he poured the beans all over the spuds. Chips, right? Or sorry, sausage, beans, and potatoes. So poured the beans all over, but he didn't have his teeth in, right?
Right. So
as he was pouring the beans, he was going, right? Completely put me off for dinner, and I couldn't fucking eat because all I could think about was his old fucking slobbery mouth, right? So then the next day he's minding this again. I had pulled the whole I'm not hungry kind of carry on, right? The next day he's minding this again, and he went, see if you don't eat that all up, I'm going to hit you with that wooden spoon, like, right? But genuinely kind of quite aggressively threatened me, right? So I'm like, and he still no fucking, so I'm like force feeding myself this fucking dinner over the threat of getting a beating, right? And my friend told his mum. She was like, Grandad's would have to fucking threaten to hit Mickey. And she was like, he shouldn't be doing that. You come. And I heard her telling him off. And it made this whole fucking, I was like, how do I go here? Can I go home?
How do I get out of here?
I've no phone. Like, how do I fucking work around? I definitely don't want to be in this situation. It's been one of those things where for years and years and years, I was like, I fucking hate that man.
Right.
Because he threatened to hit me. But on the flip side, he was probably I fucking slaved over a saucepan all day, and this cup won't eat his dinner. Probably thought nothing of it to go, I'd hit you with a wooden spoon, and I'm going, this toothless fucker's going to fucking...
Did you know, I genuinely, when I hear you tell stories like that, I sit and go, I fucking wish that I could have had such an easy aversion to food. Like, there's nothing... That man could have put those sausage, beans and spuds in his mouth, swirled it around, spat it out in a plate, and I'd have fucking had it. How do you get... I don't know how you get that.
I don't know. It's just like I've told you about the weird thing with boiled eggs. Can't eat boiled eggs, right? Because when I was 3, I loved boiled eggs. Or I remember this. I remember the day it happened. Right, I used to fucking love boiled egg in a cup. Right, mashed up with salt and butter. Loved it.
Lord.
To the point where I sickened myself when I was about 3 years of age, and now I can't look at them. I remember it. I remember it happened. I remember just being like, "That's enough of that."
Remember we talked a couple of weeks ago about the certain things before 8 you shouldn't remember?
Yeah.
So how many traumas do you remember before 8 that are all food related?
I remember
Because the boiled eggs.
There's boiled eggs. I remember the weird thing that looked like an onion on Granny's floor.
Yeah, the coleslaw.
Coleslaw.
The tuna.
The coleslaw might have been after 8, in fairness.
Okay, right.
Realistically. The tuna thing was probably just a childhood thing. My dad would make tuna and onion like for
That
3 or
was
4
right,
days
the guy.
and leave the fucking bowl uncovered in the fridge.
I remember that smell too, but again, didn't stop me.
Second, we're like, the tomato seed thing. Told you about that, hasn't it? Yeah. I was probably about 8 or 9, maybe a bit younger.
Mental. You've had a life of trauma. No, unwarranted trauma, but trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not actual trauma, but in your head it's trauma.
I'm a sensitive chap. Like,
You are indeed.
do you know what I mean?
Oh, sensitive. Oh.
Just awful sensitive wee fellow with a wee fucking chronic medical condition and chronic fear of certain textures. Wow.
Oh, and as long as a senior citizen doesn't make you a fucking cowboy supper, you're alright.
Ah, fucking hell. Just keep your teeth in, like.
Take your teeth out, tell me what's wrong.
But I think he probably, do you know what, in fairness, he probably had like a bean on his thumb, and that was enough for me to go, I can't eat that.
He could have a bean on his nose.
I think it's when I went off beans as well, because people started eating cold beans. I remember my sister eating beans just out of the tin, like cold beans.
I know some people
and
who
that
do
would
that.
sicken the fuck
That
out of me.
would sicken me.
Because it's a different texture.
It is, and I know some people who have hot dinners, like hot spuds and sausage and all the rest, and then put cold beans in it, and can't have it heated. But I'm like, but they get heated when they put them on the hot food.
Aye.
But you just cool down everything else.
Yeah.
But again, it wouldn't put me off fucking beans forever. You know what I mean? It's like
Not forever, like, it's just,
since you were 3 for eggs, like, so
Aye,
you're
the eggs
fucking
things,
35
like,
now.
Like, my girlfriend was eating a fucking salad the other day with boiled eggs in it, and I was like,
How, but
they smell like farts, man. Boiled eggs smell like actual fucking hangover farts. And then she left 2 of them in the fridge. Like, I just boiled them, going to use them tomorrow. And then didn't. And I was like, stop sticking out my fucking fridge.
I know, but just like a fart, they taste better than the smell.
That's terrifying. I remember one time being constipated when I was a kid, and I was farting burping farts. Mm-hmm. That's stinking, like, isn't it? You burping is like without eggy.
My daughter would have had it for a number of years. Yeah, it's a bad fucking smell.
Aye.
But yeah, it was a stomach issue. For
Aye.
her. She had the same thing, but she was a child and is still a child. Had loved eggs, never stopped eating, and then all of a sudden went to primary school, and somebody in her class didn't like eggs, and now she doesn't.
Aye.
Can't have them ever since.
Weird, but even like poached eggs, I love a poached egg, but if I see it getting cooked, I'm like,
What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean if I see it being cooked? So you love poached eggs unless...
it's not even the seeing it getting cooked. Don't tell me it's poached. It's the word poached. It's like the word pickled. It kind of freaks me out a wee bit. But if I see a poached egg going into a saucepan full of water and it does that weird membrane thing, looks a bit like cum, I can't eat it.
Right, I'll give you the tip how to solve that problem. But first of all...
Don't say give me the tip after I said cum.
Hold on, fuck, whoa. So the hard-boiled egg, so you can't eat eggs?
Scrambled eggs.
As long as they're poached,
fried
but we don't
eggs,
tell you they're poached.
Omelets, right? I like a poached egg, but don't tell me it's poached.
Right, okay.
Right?
Now, I'm going
And it
to...
has to be hard, but I don't like running yolks.
What about froached?
What's froached?
You ever had a froached
You
egg?
fry a poached egg?
Oh, you froached egg, aye.
I've never heard that in my life.
So, yeah, it's a frying pan with water, and you just... and you're cooking it together.
Alright, I didn't know about that.
But anyway, back to that thing. So, what?
Also,
I don't understand.
I kind of only like eggs if there's brown sauce. I kind of don't really like it if there's no sauce on it.
I don't even...
Or like chorizo, if you throw a wee bit of chorizo in the scrambled eggs, if you think the other wee
Oh, sorry.
other one.
Chorizo and... Sorry, this is my sinus problem I've had for fucking 6 weeks now, and I cannot shift.
I should have got the vaccine.
I did.
Oh, I see you did. It was me didn't get it.
I don't do it. So yeah, I just don't understand there's so many psychotic trails between each story that don't make any sense.
I think it's just hard sounds. Pickled, poached.
You're a fucking comedian who works for words. That's your actual job.
That's how
your
important they are to me.
job
And they'll
is
put me off
words.
my dinner.
The only thing.
The English language is such a tool to me because I'm such a fucking poet.
You literally.
It will put me off my food if the
whole-
word doesn't satisfy me.
Your whole day job, night job, everything about your career is just words.
And the word pickled makes me fucking sick. The word pickled triggers me more than the N word or any homophobic slur you can think of.
We gotta. If your next show's not called a pickled boiled egg, we have to get the fuck out of here. Like, this is.
But that's what hell is.
I've never had pickled eggs, and I have to say,
I couldn't fucking.
I love pickled onions, I love all that stuff, but
I did have a pickled beetroot. Well, it
Beetroot is lovely.
might not have even been pickled. It might have just been beetroot in a fucking jar.
no, it's pickled.
It's a pickle.
Yeah.
I had that one time when I was steaming. I was like, oh, it's surprisingly all right. But I was steaming. Like, my ex-girlfriend her favourite thing, right, used to be a place called Frankie Ramsey's in Derry. And she was drunk. She used to love Scotch eggs, which I've never even went near. A Scotch egg, curry sauce and beetroot was her favourite drunken fucking...
That sounds actually
And I'd be like, that is like kicking my dog in front of me. That upsets me so much.
fucking delicious. Scotch egg.
Scotch egg, curry sauce and beetroot.
So you've got egg, curry, meat, and beetroot. What's wrong?
It's cold. I think the Scotch eggs were cold as well. Would they be cold? Would Scotch eggs be cold?
Can be cold, but you
Cold
prefer to have
eggs.
them
It's
hot.
just it's a weird. It's the gelatinous kind of look of the white.
I have the solution for you. I have the fucking solution
Don't eat them?
for you. No. So there's a new
I
invention.
mean, I have a solution. Is don't eat.
No.
Don't eat boiled eggs.
I have your solution sorted.
Okay.
So there's a new gadget out where you put the egg into this device, obviously raw, and then you spin it like fuck.
Right.
Right. So what happens is, as you spin that egg, the yolk is burst on the inside and mixed with everything, and then when you boil it, it's a yellow egg.
Now that I could eat.
See,
A completely
If you're saying
yellow
that-
egg.
if
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
saying the gelatinous thing because my ma has a thing where she can't eat the white.
Yeah. The white's a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said to her, that's the way to hold that.
Well, there you go. Now.
You can spin that. Now try and when you go home and shake the fucking egg, like fuck away breaking it. That'll be a test. The same thing would apply, but this one's a spinny wee thing that spins it around to break the yolk on the inside, and then it.
So you put it in hard, like just
You put it in raw into this thing.
shell and all, or you just crack
no,
it
into
in.
this. No, into shell and all to spin it in because you're going to boil this egg.
Right.
But
So
in
you
order to
spin
get
it
the
in
yolk,
the.
you spin it
Gotcha.
to break the yolk inside it to get the yolk mixed in with
So,
the white.
so technically speaking, you could just
you
shake
could
an
just
egg.
shake it if you could. Like you
Aye.
would have to did really well with breaking it. But yeah, when they come out then as
Would an
a
egg break? You shook it. Like if you were soft hands and shook it like fuck, would it break? Would the?
I would say it probably. Well, eggs are fucking delicate things.
No, I've heard that now.
You wouldn't know, John. That one's just three.
Not a boiled one, like.
I can't believe you don't. As long as they don't tell me they're poached.
It's weird. I know it's very strange.
So if you go to a restaurant and you see the nice, lovely poached eggs, you know how to do that without the membrane and the cum-looking thing.
I'll not order them. Like I'm.
I'm
See,
going to tell you how you do it. So you have to put the egg in a sieve.
right.
So you crack the egg into a sieve first, and the sieve takes out all the excess gunky shit, and then put it in, and you have a lovely, nice poached egg.
Right,
with
gotcha.
none of that cum stuff you don't like.
Understand, right?
Alright,
I'm very. I remember one time I went there was a place in Rushmere Shopping Centre, number 7, and I watched them take a vat. What would you call it? A vat, like those big trays, and it was just filled with egg, and they just microwaved it, and like fucking whisked it up and then microwaved it again. And I watched them pour that from a plastic thing into the metal sort of. What's the name for that sort of thing? Keeps the food warm.
The bain-marie.
Yep.
Well, as people around here call it the bamboree.
Yeah, the banjo string.
It's a jamboree with a B. Bamboree.
Yeah, the Anne-Marie. And I watched them slop all the egg out and went, I'm going to go get some food somewhere else. I was working in Duns at the time, and I was like, I'm going to go and get breakfast somewhere else.
Yeah, we credit there, like there's a wee want in you.
It's just weird. It's just weird.
No, it's not
things
weird.
that-
It's a wee want.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a wee want.
Like my missus will give off for me smoking, and I'm like, but you're eating tobacco onions raw. So she's like, it's disgusting and it stinks. And I'm like, well, stop making eggs in my fucking house.
She's eating tobacco onions.
Like, she'll be making dinner. She has tobacco onions, but she'll be making dinner. She'll just be eating tobacco onions as she's cooking, and then she'll put the tobacco onions in whenever she's cooking. And I'm like, that is like fucking eating a bacon sandwich in a mosque. That offends me beyond belief.
But you smoke?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not worried about my health ever.
Oh no, it is.
And
I'm saying that she has to come near you with the smell of fags of you.
Yeah. But then that's why I go. Well, then if I'll stop smoking completely, if you stop eating raw onions in front of me,
she'll probably do that. All right.
she won't, because she loves them. Because that's the thing. This is the thing about onions as well. And this is the fucking. I think it's a conspiracy. People who love onions fucking love them and cannot understand why people don't like them. Right? I will never ever ever forget this. Right? Colin Geddes one time berated me at length for my dislike of onions, right? He's going, why don't you like onions? And I'm like, it's the texture, it's the smell, it's the fact that they're kind of fucking juicy but dry and fizzy and they're a weird. It's the layer. See that we fucking. Let me finish. See when you see like a boiled onion and there's that weird wee like line, like veins going through it, and I'm like, that fucking. It looks like fucking snot or skin or something. I fucking hate them. I hate everything about them. They make you cry. I don't understand why anybody would eat something that makes them cry. It's like eating fucking the end of Marty and me. Why would you fucking do it? And then Colin Geddes went, oh, do you know Ray? And I was like, oh yeah. He goes, he just doesn't like tea. Just doesn't like the taste of tea. I was perfectly fine with it. And I'm like, this guy was Chinese, and I'm going, you're fine with a Chinaman who doesn't like the taste of tea, fucking tea. But you cannot get it into your head that I don't like onions.
That is a true point, no, in fairness. That is a very fair point.
Do you know what I mean? How can you be okay with that, but not okay with this?
Is it because he doesn't know the other guy? And knows you very well?
No, he knows him well enough. Like at the time, it was about 10 years ago. He knew him about as well as he knew me.
You do know that we veiny, like it's. You do know that that's just the way it's cut. It's not that.
Yeah, it's still fucking sick of me.
Oh, okay.
I also can't eat the bottom of bananas. And if I peel a banana and there's other wee stringy bits that are on I have to take them off too. Is that a weird thing?
It's not weird because that's what monkeys do.
Wow.
Yeah, if you see a monkey, like when you watch them, they'll peel the monkey and they'll take the wee threads.
Yeah, I'll take those off.
Yeah, they'll take them off. But again, that's a fucking.
And if I'm eating a banana and this has happened since my 20s. This wasn't even a childhood thing. Do you know when you cut a banana and like you slice it, there's the wee seedy bits, the wee black seeds, right? Somebody one time said to me, they're tarantula eggs, and I was like, they're fucking not, they're seeds. But now I sometimes, if I think about that, I have to eat a banana, like I have to force it into me. Like I have to rattle it.
I don't know what you do with something like that.
And it's the exact same reason why I can't eat kiwis. When you cut them in half, I go, what's tarantula eggs in there? Do you know nothing sickens me more than when you're eating an orange and you accidentally get a pip? There's something about I go, and I can't even be a jet.
I think you're going to need to take a cock or something. Put it in your mouth.
Man, I won't eat an onion. You think I won't eat a dick?
Gag on it because it's.
I've gagged on plenty of things. Twisters.
You just said you gagged on a fucking orange pip.
It's not because I can't take it. I can take a fucking bigger pip than that. It's because I don't like the feeling of it.
Aye.
It's like a wee wet dry thing. I'm talking
that's what I'm saying.
Numb supposed to be here.
Stick a big monster cock in there to get numb your mouth so you'll never feel anything small into it again.
I don't think that's how it works.
I don't think it's how it works, but I'm just wondering how.
I've
else
never
could
been
you
to the
deal with
dentist and he's all, listen, I've run out of Novocaine, but thank God
This'll numb me.
Abdul's here. He's a 13-incher. Say good man. Nurse, bring in the other one. That's just fucking. Can you feel anything yet? Oh, I can still feel it, doc. All right, 2 seconds here.
We're gonna have to go forget his balls.
Aye, like if you imagine imagine you came home and found Emer sucking somebody's dick, and you're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" She's like, "After the dentist later on, I'm trying to numb my tooth."
Well, you eat fucking onions from now on. I'd let her do it if she'd eat an onion. She's the same as you. She's the same as you. I have to.
They're the devil's vegetable.
I have to stew the onions.
Ugh, right? That's stew.
No, I don't like stewing them. I like frying them. I like sautéing them and all that. But I have to stew them.
I think stewed onions are the worst.
It's the word I
worst
get
ones.
Because she doesn't like the texture. Loves the taste, but not like the texture. So an onion can't have a crunch to her, and I fucking drives me mental. You're not it.
Yeah. Now like I've had the odd situation where there's been fried onions fired into the middle of some stuff.
You still at it like.
And I'm like dead on.
Aye.
Dead on. But I do have to mentally be like, okay, it's alright, it's okay. If there's an abundance of onion is when I get really fucked off. I think I'm gonna go. That doesn't taste very nice.
The worst thing's gonna happen is the thing.
See what I mean? See how passionate you are about onions.
But it's the worst thing.
See how passionate he is. I just don't like to taste them.
The worst thing. No, I don't forget onions, coleslaw, tomatoes, bananas, fucking seeds, and then the whole bastard plant. The worst thing that's going to happen to you if any of those things go wrong is you're going to do what you always do on a night out. You're just going to throw up in the corner.
What if it's not in the corner? What if it's all over myself?
You did that in Emperor one night.
I know. I'm just saying.
So what the fuck odds? You know what I mean? The worst case scenario, like Dr. What's the worst could happen?
Don't even start me on Dr.
Like
Pepper.
if you're
not even
like
a real
if you
doctor.
actually are in any way, and I know you're creative, and I know your imagination is very good now. It is good now.
Thank you.
Like now. But if you eat a banana,
But I couldn't imagine myself eating an onion. And I've imagined myself in many situations.
listen, if you
But
eat
eating onions is never one of them.
if you eat a banana and then somehow in your head you think tarantulas are going to grow in your head,
No.
We're going to have.
I never thought about them growing. It's not about them growing.
Oh,
It's
did
just
you
about the
kill
fact
them
that
then?
it's no. It's just about the fact that you're chewing tarantula eggs.
Aye, so you're killing.
Do you know what I mean? It's just the fact that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's bang on. It's not irrational.
What do you call that fish egg stuff again?
Caviar?
Yeah. Tarantula caviar. In my head, I just go, I can't do that.
Have you not had caviar before?
Fuck. Have I ever had? I won't eat onion. You think I would eat fucking fish spunk? Fuck off. Nah, I couldn't go near it. Could not go near it. I think tadpoles whenever I think caviar. I know tadpoles are frogs.
Is there any way you could just not think of things when you talk about food?
Nah, man, I can't turn my
Just
brain.
eat the
I
food without thinking about going down some magic fucking trail.
I'm sorry, I can't turn my brain off. Okay, I'm a creative person.
Creative?
I'm
Oh, you're
creative.
right. You're
I'm a creative soul.
Creating a fucking
Okay.
headache. That's what you're creating. Fuck me.
Yeah. Creating a mess of a dinner table. You put a fucking onion in front of me. Do you know one time? I went out with a girl one time, right? And we went for breakfast in Maggie Mays, and she ordered a bean toasty with onions in it.
Right.
And I was like,
You're a sad bastard.
sat across the table from her like, you fucking dirty trampy cunt.
You're a sad cunt. Like
But who would do that? Who goes, you know what makes beans better? Fucking raw onion. And then she complained. She was a proper Karen. Whenever they came down, she was, the cat's not even cooked properly. And I went, well, why'd you order something so fucking retarded? You absolute dick. And yes, I'll take the shite sandwich, please. Can I have that with extra shite?
So that was your weekend?
You get
We
angry
got there somewhere. How the fuck we got there?
Get angry at a 10-year-old girl. Get angry at a couple of drunk people in Armagh.
And then the food.
And then went drinking in Mr. Escobar's.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What did I do the weekend? I was on stage the weekend doing a play in Strabane, in the big fucking metropolis. Ronan Boyle, you know, our friend Ronan, who does the big massive podcast, he wrote a play with a friend of his, and that was good crack.
Saw the glasses. They weirdly suited you.
The Phil Jupiter.
Do you know what's one thing that I will say, and I genuinely mean this as a compliment, right? When you put like those wee glasses on, you look like a completely different person. And as a performer, I think that's a great thing to have. Because if you put me in any kind of fucking makeup, I just look like me in makeup.
I think glasses changed me. Everybody,
genuinely, and I mean that as I think it's a very useful thing to have as someone. If you wanted to get into more acting, you could put you into a character. Whereas I'm like Chris Rock, can't act.
a chameleon.
Oh,
Just
blend in, sir.
Oh,
Fucking stand-up chameleon, what? That's somebody who steals people's jokes.
Oh,
Just coined that wee phrase there now myself.
I like that. Stand-up comedian.
Well, here, we'll fuck off and go and do some questions on Patreon.
Yeah,
I'm
I
talking
was forgetting about mine.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, fucking forget about it.
So you tell me you're in a play.
It's over now.
Right, no, you're in a play.
That's
Go
done
ahead.
now.
You're in the
It's all
Alley
done.
Theatre in Strabane.
Stick it up
and
your
you,
fucking shit.
You were in, no. Tell me all about your.
It was a play, and I was in it, and now you just fucking soured the whole thing. It's going on tour now anyway, so you're not fucking invited.
Are you going on tour with it?
It's going on tour.
Are you
now.
going on tour with it?
It's going on.
Are you going on tour with it?
It's going on tour now. Listen, Mick, and you are not invited.
Sorry, I'm probably busy.
Probably.
Getting haggled in Armagh. So you're going on tour with the plane now?
So anyway,
wouldn't come on
folks,
tour with me.
Thanks, folks.
Wouldn't come on tour with me. I'll Yumz, too good for Mickey. He'd put a pair of fucking pedo glasses on and go and do a play. All right, I understand. I see how this is like the Oscars all over again, isn't it?
That's what
no respect for the craft of comedy.
No.
Aye.
Slap the
Run
face,
about
he
fucking slapping people for fucking not eating onions or whatever.
I had one scene in this play, so I'll not be on tour because it's not worth the thing for one scene. But
What was the?
nothing. Friends rates. Ronan Boyle, if you're listening, my invoice will be coming very soon.
Disgusting. You should be paid for your art.
That's what I thought
Your
too.
craft.
Yeah. For my Phil Jupitus impersonation. The amount of people, I didn't even see it at the time when I took a picture, and everybody came back and went, that's a very Phil Jupitus look. I was like,
I didn't think it was. I thought you looked like a sort of a Harry Potter character, and I mean that in a good way. Like you'd be one of the good guys in Harry Potter.
Hagrid, basically?
No. Like not even Hagrid. Like a kind of a.
Hagrid could let Harry's glasses.
That's Mr. Wimsley from the wand shop. You'd be like,
he's the baker.
hello, Harry. Hello, Hermione. Hello, Ron. Hello, Mr. Wimsley.
Would you like to taste?
Would you like me to wave my wonder bat for you, kids?
Touch it.
Smelly
Touch
armpits. Right, let's go through some fucking questions.
Yes.
Thanks very much for listening. As always, please join the Patreon if you're sound. The tour is over, but the Waterfront Hall shows are on sale. So 2nd of December this year, my new show, Come On, will be coming. I might be booking in some little preview shows in and around the Belfast area in the next few months. So
You're in the magnificent Daly's Comedy Club this Friday night.
Daly's coming this Friday night.
Which is sold out. So,
Which is sold out, so
if you're listening to a week later, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
so.
and if you're hanging about the Limelight on Saturday, I might be on with somebody as well.
Again, if you're listening to the Patreon or Spotify, too late.
Right, yeah.
Daly's first Friday of the month, so we're back in May, 6th of May, with, well, I'll tell you who's on. So,
No.
Thank you very much, everybody.
All the Harry Chase and bust of luck. Bye. What's up, motherfuckers?